Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to talk about how not to sell a car over the internet. This is possibly, it's not the worst car buying experience ever. It's probably the worst internet car buying experience ever because it ended up being over the telephone and with text messages because they couldn't use the internet. And this is 2020 and COVID. Anyway, let me tell you the story. Let's start at the beginning. Okay. So as you know, if you've been watching the videos on the channel, one of the things I've been running build and prices for is the Dodge Challenger. So I was running build and prices. Well, actually there's video. You can go watch a video. Here, let me try this. Click there and go watch the video where I build and price these cars. But what you see on the screen here is a build and price of an RT, just the 5.7 Hemi, pretty much loaded with the triple nickel. It has the tire thing, with the wide tires. It's got the sound system, the Alpine sound system. It's the 275 tires, technology group, the adaptive cruise control. Basically, it's pretty much loaded. And it comes out over $50,000, which is not surprising because it's loaded. Okay, well that's not the point of the story. Because the point of the story is when you do these build and prices on the Dodge website, you can then search dealer inventory to see if anyone has one like it. So I searched dealer inventory. Now, by the way, here, let me try again. OC Motivator. It's another dude, by the way, an older gentleman, closer to my age than to the young people that generally have YouTube channels about Dodge Challengers. He's had a series of Dodge Challengers and has had a Challenger for one. OC Motivator. He's fantastic guy, love him. But anyway, one of his videos mentioned something. He talked about how he writes off part of the cost of his cars because he uses them on the channel. And I went, huh. So I've been actually looking into this, and it turns out, yeah, I can write off part of the cost of this car for buying it to use as to make videos about. So, but, and here's a real big but, I have to buy it before the end of the year if I'm going to get a tax deduction for 2020, which is why all of a sudden all these videos are appearing in December, because I need to have the channel up and running so that I can justify buying the car, so I can justify the tax deduction, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. All that being said, OC Motivator, check him out. Also, while we're on the subject, Racer X, another older guy, not as old as me, or even, I don't think he's even as old as OC Motivator, but Racer X, he's another guy whose channel I've been watching, and Work, Play, Drive. Some gentlemen who aren't in their early 20s or teens who do videos about Challengers and are very entertaining, and I enjoy them very much. Anyway, so because of OC Motivator, I'm thinking maybe I want to try to buy one of these. So I look at let's see what's nearby. And here's what came up. Now, so what is it, like 13 out of 17, blah, blah, blah. By the way, this is one of the things that when dealers order cars, when they order them with things like adaptive cruise control, which is one of the higher end options, they tend to load on lots of other options so that they end up pricing the car. Notice these are all 53, 53, 52. As I showed you in my build and price video, you can actually get a Challenger RT with adaptive cruise control for low 40s. So they add another $10,000. Now I also have added another $10,000. Well, I was speccing it out. But look at the one at the bottom. The 2020 Challenger RT 50th anniversary. 50th anniversary is a special model that they came out with for 2020 because it was the 50th anniversary. The Challenger originally came out in 1970, so it's the 50th anniversary model. And there's some really nice cars. In fact, let me show you this car. Notice it's in Mississippi. It's 188 miles away. So here I have gone back and built and priced this exact car that this dealer down in Mississippi has. So you can see it has the cinnamon stick. Now, I normally wouldn't go with that color, but remember I told you like a few months back, my friend Brian and I went and test drove. Well, I test drove a cinnamon stick RT 50th anniversary, basically this same car, just, maybe slightly different. And it has the shaker scoop, the shaker hood scoop, which I really love. And it's got a bunch of other stuff. It has the nav system I want. It has the Alpine audio I want. It has the sunroof that I'm not a big sunroof guy, but it helps resale and it's kind of nice. It has the tire things, the wide tires, the 275s. Basically, it's loaded up. It's everything I want in a car, and it's just over $50,000 MSRP. So I go on there. So I click on the vehicle details. Here they are, and you can see what is it, $52,370. So it's just over $50,000. So not bad. So, but by the way, you notice there's a button there. It says View on Dealer Site. So I click on that button, and I get sent to the dealer's website, and there's the car. A picture of it sitting in their showroom. Now look down here, and you'll see detailed pricing down in the corner here. MSRP $52,370. Then look at that dealer discount. $26.18. So basically that's about what, 5%? That's like 5% off MSRP. Not great, but decent, pretty good. So then their price is $49. Now Dodge for all year has been running this thing where it's $10 rebate per horsepower. And this is a 375 horsepower car, so that's a $37.50 rebate. That's a big rebate, which takes the overall price down to $46,002. Well, now this is starting to sound like it's in my price range. Remember, I wanted to be in the 40s, 55 absolute tops and 40 better. Well, 46, we're getting in there. So I say, well, I think, and I do a little more research. I watch the video. They have videos on the website. They have a lot. They really know how to push the cars on the internet, but let me tell you how they don't know how to sell them. We're going to get to that. So, and it turns out it has like 311 miles on it. I guess well, I'll show you some stuff in a minute about why it has so many miles on it. It's got like 300 miles on it. Well, it's 188 miles away, if you recall. Well, that means by the time I drove it, if I go down there and buy it and drive it up here, then by the time I get it back up here, it's almost at 500 miles, or it's over 500 miles, which is the break-in period, which means then I can start having fun, because you don't want to be tearing around in these, burning up these engines when you have less than 500 miles on them. Hemis actually do have a break-in period. So, but it would be it. So I'm thinking, this may be meant to be. By the way, if you know me, I'm big on the meant to be. Things just tend to happen in my life, and I have hundreds of examples over the years where things just happen and it just works out perfect. Just this week, I was at Costco. They had the battery backup UPS little things for your computer on sale. It was like $20 off. And I said, well, I always need those, so I picked one up. I came home, and one of mine failed. It started making this horrible noise, and it was dead. But I had just bought one. See, it just happened. Things just happen like that for me. So I'm thinking maybe this is a meant to be kind of thing. Okay. So now I've been doing a lot of research on buying cars, and one of the things I've discovered is this a YouTube channel called Your Auto Advocate. These guys are A, hysterical, B, awesome. In fact, Ray down here, you can see his picture. Ray Shefska, he was an auto dealer. He's a retired car dealer. He's managed been a sales manager at all these different stores, he calls them. By the way, they do that in restaurants too. They call them stores. I don't know. Anyway. But anyway, he's been in a lot of different, sold a lot of different kinds of cars. He's really, and his son, Zach, is a young guy who's tech savvy and has said, well, maybe I can make my retired dad into an internet star. And he's kind of well on the way, I got to say. Watch their videos. I'll put, maybe. If not, look in the description down below and I'll have a link to their channel and some of their videos maybe. And they're just delightful. My favorite thing is that they're often not in the same city, right? Because they don't live together. So sometimes they'll be doing Zoom calls for their video to make their videos. And then when they end the video, they're also hanging up on the Zoom call, and it's a father and son. And so Ray almost always says, "Goodbye, honey," to Zach. And it's just adorable. But they're very knowledgeable and they know what they're doing. And look on the screen. They have a website, yourautoadvocate.com, where they do market price reports. And you put in the VIN number and you get what is here on my slide. And you can see, one of the things you can see is this car has been sitting on their lot down there in Mississippi for almost 150 days, which is, if I can do my math correctly, over 5 months. So it's been sitting there for 5 months. And I can barely see that. What does it say? Local average 57 days. So almost triple the local average for these kinds of cars. So you'd think they'd want to get rid of it. In fact, if you read Ray's recommendation, he says give it a shot. They gave it a negotiability score of 75. They might be willing to deal. And he suggests you offer them 43.2 and get an out-the-door estimate of 50,000. Oh, they do out-the-door estimates. See, if you look up at the top there, it says market price report and then out-the-door. Well, for your edification, I clicked on the out-the-door price calculator. And you can see, and they're using the 46.2, which is the internet price. Sales tax. Now, they have the sales tax wrong. They have 9.75%. That is retail sales tax in Tennessee, but not car sales tax. Car sales tax is 7% plus a little bit for the county. It ends up being like 7% plus like $150, $200. So they're over on the sales tax, but I mean, 9.75% is our sales. It's just not car sales tax when you buy a car. So Zach and Ray and Zach, he's the tech guy. Zach, you need to fix your sales tax calculator for places like Tennessee where the retail sales tax and car sales tax are not the same. Anyway, and they got the registration fee, doc fee, $500. You will soon see that's not. But anyway, so I have a pretty good idea that I ought to be able to get this car, according to Your Auto Advocate, and they're pretty damn good, for about 50 grand, just over 50 grand. At the out-the-door price. That's what I'll pay, barring gap insurance and all that kind of stuff they'll try to sell you in the F&I office. Finance and insurance. Anyway. Oh, and if you look at the very bottom, it says how to negotiate with the dealer. I left this on here because there's a clickable link that says email templates. Well, I'm about to show you the emails that I sent to this Mac Haik auto dealer. I based them off of these guys' Your Auto Advocates templates. These guys are awesome. So if you're looking to ever buy a car, by the way, they do new and used. Actually, I think that their service is probably more valuable if you're used. By the way, they also do things like they sell extended warranties, but not at the dealer markup. They sell it at like a much lower markup. So like a dealer will sell you extended warranty for $4,000, and you can probably get it from them for maybe $1,500 or maybe even less. Great channel. Fascinating people, and they're bringing in more people. They just brought in Kimberly, who's an F&I manager, and they're bringing in a service guy. And it's a great channel. You should watch it for the next time you buy a car. If you're buying a car soon, you should start watching it right away. If not, but even if you're not, they're entertaining. Anyway, so that's Your Auto Advocate. So they said I should be able to get an out-the-door price of about 50 grand. So I'm going, maybe this is meant to be. I'll drive it back up here. It'll be through its break-in period. Life will be good. So I go to initiate contact. Now, on their website, all they have are telephone numbers and this contact us page. There's not an email address to be seen anywhere on the website. There's not a social media, there's nothing. It's either a phone number, you call them, or you fill out this form. Okay, I filled out the form. Said this is I want to be contacted by email, and I didn't even give them my phone number. And here, and I, blah, blah, blah. This is the car. In the comments, I put the VIN number and the stock number of that car from the previous page, their web page, and I sent it off. And shortly thereafter, as with all these kind of things, right, their system generated me this email from Claude Huddleston. Thank you for your interest in blank, because apparently they didn't bother to fill in. Cool, you're doing some research. I will be contacting you shortly to address any questions. If we don't connect, don't feel free to contact me about any of these things. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Okay. Click below for directions. Perfectly decent sales email, although clearly not personalized at all. So I replied using the template from yourautoadvocate.com. Where I said, as you can tell from my zip code, I live in Memphis. I'm looking to purchase a 2020 Challenger RT with the technology package, adaptive cruise control. No adaptive cruise control, no deal. So obviously that also means automatic transmission only. Strong preference for the nav, the leather seating, and an upgrade sound system. So I found this stock number and VIN number on your lot. It's pretty close for what I'm looking for. I like the fact that the mileage is over 300. By the way, this is telling them I know the mileage is over 300, which means I'm not just your average idiot who just looked at the internet picture and said, "Oh, I want." No, I did a little research. By the way, having mileage over 300 means I should be able to get a little better price, maybe. And I've already arranged my financing, but I'm open to you. By the way, your auto advocate will tell you, yes, have your own financing if possible, but don't be married to it, because A, they may be able to beat it, and B, even if they only match it, it makes them a little more profit if they set up the loan than if you set up the loan. So I'm willing to work with them. I make it clear right here. For tax reasons, I want delivery by the end of the month at the latest. And I'm prepared. Now, this is on a Monday, and I say, look, I'm willing to come. I'm willing to move sooner. I'm willing to come down there on Friday, basically, and buy the car. So give me an out-the-door price breakdown with all fees. Be as competitive as you can, because I could order a 2021 spec'd exactly the way I want from a local dealer. My current lease is running through March, so I'm in no hurry. But for the tax reasons, I'd kind of like to buy it. I'm also at high risk for COVID, so I want to do this basically almost completely over the internet, only show up to sign the already completely negotiated and final papers and take delivery of the car. Thanks so much. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Beautiful email, crafted using their template. I made some changes, obviously. And you can see the reply at the bottom of the screen. Your email is not registered in our system. So apparently this is some sort of CRM, is a customer relationship management system. So apparently they have to enter, when they're sending emails to people, apparently they have like a white list. So you have to put the email address on the white list so that they can reply to you. Well, they didn't. Maybe they think it happens automatically and it doesn't. I don't know. So anyway, I get nothing. I get a bounce. Wasted my beautifully crafted email. By the way, I'm using it in this video, so I'm getting some mileage out of it. Okay, that's Monday. So on Tuesday, I go back to their website. I look at, this is the Meet the Team page off their website. You will notice there is no Claude Huddleston. So I'm thinking, well, maybe that's why I couldn't reply. Maybe his email isn't registered in their system. So I look on there and I see who the internet salespeople are. By the way, they all say internet sales manager, so I guess that's a deal. So I call the dealer and I say, I want to talk to an internet sales manager. Well, none of them are working on Tuesday that week. So there's nobody there that I can talk. Well, I said, well, then give me the email address of one of them, and I can email them, and then they can get back to me tomorrow, Wednesday, when they get in. So she says Ethan, and Ethan is there on the page. So his picture's there. So he does work there, and of course the receptionist at the dealer is saying he works there. So this is going to work. So I write this little email, and by the way, what does it say? I need to start a conversation. I tried to start a conversation. Blah 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 blah. I attached the email from Claude, my reply, blah blah. All the whole thing. And you can see immediately below it, I got the bounce notification from their CRM. The email address that the receptionist read to me over the phone was their CRM email address for these people. Of email addresses which apparently cannot receive email unless, again, maybe they're whitelisted. I don't even know. So this is now a second email address which was useless. Okay. So now I'm getting a little annoyed because, like I said, I was thinking about driving down there on Friday and buying the damn car. Well, now it's Tuesday and I haven't even been able to talk to anybody. Then on Wednesday, I get an email from Ethan Morgan. But it's not a reply to my email because he never got that. It's, again, generated from their CRM system because, well, I sent him a thing on Monday and it's now Wednesday. And So he sent me an automated email telling me how I can help. I replied, as you can see, that I'm not expecting you to see this, but if you do, scroll down, and I attached all the emails. Hoping to close the deal on Friday, but at the rate this is going, it's looking like I will not be buying a car from you ever. Because I'm getting a little annoyed. By the way, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that that email got a CRM bounce notification. I am not registered in their system. Okay, so that's Wednesday. If I'm going to buy the car on Friday, I got to talk to somebody. So I call him. And Ethan's not in. And people keep putting me on hold and running around. Finally, somebody gets on the phone and says, well, I'm an internet sales manager. So I tell them what I'm interested in. So they we talk back and forth. There's some. She gives me an email address where I can so I send my pre-approval on my car loan so that they know that I'm good for $45,000 on a car loan. And they put together this lovely deal sheet. And I'm lovely is in quotes, it's sarcastic. Okay, so they have their Mac Hake price and the thing like off the internet. And then let's stop at taxes. They made the same mistake your auto advocate made. They used 9.75%, which is the tax rate for retail sales, not car sales. It should have been 7% plus like $150. So they're way over on taxes. Plus, but even at 9.75%, $5,000, that, if the car is under $50,000, yeah, something's not going on, something that's right here, and you find out what's right if you just keep going down another line, and you see added expense 1795, and you look over on the other side and it says protection package. Well, if you watch your autoadvocate.com, you know that this is a bullshit thing that dealers put on, VIN etching, all this stuff so that they can just basically charge you back. And basically, what was the 2600 was the write down, well, 1800's added back. So basically they're giving you like less than $1,000 off of MSRP, like $800. And the tax thing is way out of whack because even at 9.75%, the tax shouldn't be $5,000. I mean, I worked it every way I could, and there was no way I could get to that kind of money. That they have to, the sales price of the car has to be like $55,000. So that just did not add up. So I sent the woman a text. By the way, I've blacked her name out because, well, I left the sales manager on there, the FI manager, for a reason that I'll show you in a minute. By the way, that's the one. He's the one who would have made the tax mistake. You think you'd know the taxes of the surrounding states where people might buy cars from you, but apparently not. Anyway, so I sent her a text, or I called. I don't remember. I either called or sent a text. I don't. But I said, this deal isn't going to fly. A, the tax is way off, and this protection package has got to go. And her reply was, well, they sent me another deal with zero tax. They said, well, we just won't charge you tax, and you'll have to pay the tax when you register the car in Tennessee. Okay, I'm not even sure if that's legal. So, Zach and Ray, if you're watching this, because I'm plugging you, you might let me know. Is that even legal? Can you not charge tax, collect tax, and then wait for the people when they register the car to pay the tax? Anyway, so they sent me that, but they still have the $1,798 protection package. I said, no, that protection package got to go away. Well, no. I said, well, then it's going to come out of the price of the car. And at this point, I am told the price is non-negotiable. We've already discounted the price, and this has already been added to the car, which of course is not true. Even if they have done stuff to the car, they have not done $1,800 worth of stuff to the car. Again, watch your auto advocate. They'll tell you that, they did the etching or whatever, but what part of what you're paying for is the insurance that down the road, and so they can actually, you can probably knock off at least $1,000 and probably more of that. And by the way, if they had said, well, look, we'll knock $1,000 off of the protection package, I might have done a deal with them. But no, it was our cars are priced to sell. This is the car that's been on their lot for 5 months, so clearly not priced to sell. And our protection packages are non-negotiable, and we already put all that stuff on, and you pay it, take it or leave it. I left it. Now, again, the reason I left Stephen Harmon's name on here is because that was on Wednesday, and I told them to just take their deal and shove it. Saturday, their CRM system, actually, I don't think this was the CRM. No, yes, MacHapeApps.net. They actually have an email address that's just MacHake. That one, because she gave me hers, and I was emailing back and forth. But they weren't video worthy. And so here Stephen Harmon sends me things, says, well, what do you want? So clearly this is auto-generated because his name was on the stupid deal that I told him to fold and shove where I was very polite. I don't yell at people. So anyway, so Stephen Harmon, this is probably the worst possible experience you could have. They give you email, they send you emails that you cannot reply to, you get bounced. They don't give you any way to contact them except telephone. And then our prices are non-negotiable, everything's non-negotiable. Well, again, yourautoadvocate.com, or I don't know where it's going to be. It may be a little thing right here, right now, or it may be down in the description below. But yourautoadvocate.com, they have merch, by the way, and one of their merches is, if it's taxable, it's negotiable. The sales price is taxable. That add-on protection package was taxable. Those prices should have been negotiable. They refused. They absolutely, wouldn't even hear about negotiating. I was out. So that's my story of trying to buy a car from Mac Hake in Jackson, Mississippi. It's not the worst car buying experience, but it's probably the worst internet car buying experience you could possibly have, because I never did anything over the internet really, except a couple of emails, and it was mainly text messages and phone calls. So needless to say, I did not buy that car, but there will be more videos because I'm not done going to dealers, so I went to another dealer. That'll be okay. Quick jump cut because I was done. I'll see you in the next one.